Welcome to Inspire and Move, the show that inspires you to create, connect, and grow. I'm going to bring you meaningful conversations, aha moments, and all the motivation you need to up-level every part of your life. I'm Ali Aruda, founder of Inspire and Move, and your personal hype girl. I've gone from fashion school to celebrity stylist to corporate marketing to brick-and-mortar entrepreneurship with my husband, each time learning incredible lessons how to pivot, reimagine, and implement the steps to become successful. I'm passionate about inspiring others to live their best life, a life of joy. We have the power to design a life that we love, because life is too short not to. The best part is that you weren't meant to do this alone. If you feel like you are meant for more, let me ride shotgun with you, and together, let's get you to where you want to go. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Inspire and Move podcast. It is your girl, Ali Aruda, and today you are in for such a treat. We have an episode that my girlfriend Jillian Murphy and myself recorded together, and we are sharing it on both of our shows because sharing is caring, and entrepreneurship is also efficiency. Or should I say efficiency is entrepreneurship? You catch my drift. But I am so pumped for today's episode. We talk all about sales, visibility. You know that's my favorite topic right now. And just for a little bit of context, because I always talk about getting in the room. And Jillian and I have met a couple of years ago in the room. We have been at live events together. We are investors in similar companies together. And we have also been in masterminds together. So when I say get in the room, because it's going to help impact your network, but also build different friendships and opportunities that come your way. I really want to share that message loud and clear because I am a walking testimonial of that. And my relationship with Jillian is exactly that. Plus, we are both coaches inside the Mentor Collective Mastermind, which you know I am also so passionate about. And we can't wait to welcome some more members soon in the next cohort. But that is not what we are talking about today. We are talking about all things collaboration, sales, business, networking, friendships, and most likely a little bit of masterminds. So roll up those sleeves, grab something fun to drink, or maybe you're on a walk, or maybe you're at the gym. I hope you enjoy this episode.
What's up, friends? Welcome back to the podcast. And I always say it's always a great episode when I bring someone on who I really know. I know their heart. I know their business. And today I have my good friend, Ali Aruda on. And if you guys don't know her, you're probably under a rock. Ali, welcome to the show, my friend.
Hello. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy that we are here together and having this conversation, even though we had such a good chat prior to recording. And I just love any time that we get to spend together. So thank you so much for the opportunity. And I am so excited for everything that we are going to talk about today.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys, Ellie and I met in, I think, a room, and then we met in a mastermind. We're investors together in a couple companies. We are coaches together in the MCM community, which we talk about a lot. So it's really important to keep those connections going in and off the internet. So we're going to talk today. We're going to dive right into visibility because one of the main things that we talk about on the show all the time is the sales process. And you guys know you can't sell anything if nobody knows who the hell you are. And I think Ali has done such an incredible job of being seen, being in the right rooms, really utilizing proximity, and also being a giver. Because I think that's one of the biggest things that people miss out on is yeah, they want to be visible, but they're not willing to serve first. And I think you just have the biggest servant heart ever. So let's talk about visibility in 2026.
Oh, I love this. This is I said to you, the one thing I want to talk about is visibility because, as you said, it's the multiplier for 2026.
Yeah.
And I think even kind of before even talking about what visibility means, let's first talk about the fact that there is a bit of a trust recession happening right now, especially in the digital space, that there are things that I consume on Instagram and I was like, oh my gosh, that is AI.
Literally the other day, I was obsessed with this girl's entire outfit from her hair to her clothes to everything. I was like, she's not even a human. She's literally an AI. My girl crush is an AI.
Yes. There was a girl that I was invested in who was hot in her 30s, but she's married to a 96-year-old man. She's changing his diapers. I was so invested to understand where did you guys meet? How did this happen? Start? And then I remember showing it to Matt, my husband, and he's like, oh, babe, this is AI.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so talk about trust recession, that there is incredibly creative things that we are seeing on the internet with highly skilled humans that are creating that, or AI that is totally generating that. So we are naturally coming up to this pillar of trust, that
Hmm.
how can we trust what we are seeing, what we are consuming? So then you spin that on its head when it comes to content that you're delivering and messaging that you are delivering, that you want people to be able to trust you. And more than that, you want them to like you,
Hmm.
know you, and trust you. So then they are going to hire you, they are going to buy from you, they're going to refer you. And then it's this beautiful path after that, but you have to do the work to create that trust.
Yeah, it's so true. I just talked about this on a podcast recently about a trust recession. And I actually think, and I'd love your opinion on this. And if we have different opinions, that's one of the best things I think about a podcast. But I think it's actually easier than ever to build trust right now in the online space because if you just lead as a human, you're taking out everything else that everybody else is doing. What's your thought on that?
I agree with you,
Hmm.
and I think that even like Instagram lives, I feel
Hmm.
like they are coming back. Like I don't know if they are as hot as they were a couple of years ago, but I think that there is a opportunity for success with Instagram lives now because you are going on your camera, you are hitting live, and people can see that you are talking to the camera, that you may be reading the comments or acknowledging who joins your
Hmm.
live. Even if it's like 9 people, it can
Yes.
still live on your feed. People can still see you talking to the camera.
Hmm.
Same with just regular reels of you
Hmm.
talking to the camera, Instagram stories. Jillian, I know you do like a daily fit check type of
Yeah.
a story where you are connecting with your audience on a regular basis, taking them along with you on that journey. I try to do
Hmm.
that when it comes to my workouts. I don't know if everyone
Yeah.
cares about what kind of exercise I'm doing with my trainer, but it's a
Yeah.
habit that I have built in terms of the content I want to share so people know, all right, yeah, like she's walking the walk and talking the
Mhm.
talk of being a gym owner and showing up and being visible and taking people along for that ride regularly.
Yeah, and you guys, I talk about this all the time on the podcast. Like my daily fit checks are one of the biggest connection pieces that I have with people. It's not that I'm like going on there to show you guys my outfit, but I'm telling you a couple things happen. Number one, my audience knows most of the days, Monday through Friday, Jillian's going to have that up there. So they can trust that that's going to be something. And for some people, it's like comforting. Like I know no matter what day of the week I go to Allie's page, I'm going to be able to see her workout. Like that's trust that's being built right there. And then it's also an incredible connection piece to talk about something else other than business. It's like, hey, let's talk about your outfit. Let's talk about your cute earmuffs. Let's talk about your workout, right? And that's the thing that actually is the main connector.
Oh my gosh. And I think being real, I had a lovely dinner date with a girlfriend of mine last week who's also a partner. She's a big part of my brand partnerships with the med spa that I work with.
Hmm.
And she had acknowledged, like, I really love some of the content that you've been sharing recently that's actually more vulnerable, of
Hmm.
doing an Instagram live while doing my nighttime skincare, which means I'm not wearing any makeup.
Right.
And some girls are so down for that. And some girls would be probably completely horrified to
Hmm.
turn their camera on with nothing on their face.
Hmm.
But being able to take people along for that real journey and
Hmm.
peeling back the layers, whether it's, showing the products that you're using or just doing something in your regular daily routine, but
Hmm.
talking about that something's on your heart and being able to, exactly what Jillian said, connect with your audience.
Yeah, it is absolutely so good. And I know, you and I both are in this circle with Jen Gottlieb. And it's like, you guys think about her at this point. Like, she's one of the biggest speakers out there, and she's still doing get readies with me. Stop for a second and think about that. Why is she still doing them? Because they work. It connects her to her audience. People see her as a real human. She doesn't need to be doing get readies with me, but she's doing them because it still works. So I love that you touched on that.
Oh my gosh. And Jen Gottlieb is like the GOAT in my opinion. Like I think that
Mm-hmm.
she is one of the best inspirations and
Yeah.
leaders when it comes to being seen. She wrote a book about it
It's
and
such a good
being
book, by the way.
it's so good. And I'm actually gonna get into a book club with focusing on her book, Be Seen, and I'm so excited to read it again because
Mm-hmm.
I think it's also with a lot of things, and books is a perfect example of coming back to it, let's call it 2, 3 years later,
Yeah.
and reading it again or listening to it again. You're going to extract different things, and it's
Mm-hmm.
probably going to show up in a different way for where you are in your life and your business. And you're going to be able to not only absorb different things, but take action on things in a different way.
Yeah, it's so true. And if you guys have not read the Be Seen book, we'll put the link in the show notes. Definitely go and check it out. I have read it twice. It is like a staple in my life. And I love that you say that about going back to other books. We're actually reading 10X is easier than 2X right now. And
Mhm.
that's another book that I've read multiple times because at different times in my business, different times in my journey, it hits differently. And I think that that is so important.
Oh my gosh. And actually, speaking of journey, Jillian, you talked about this in a recent sales training that you did for our Mentor Collective Mastermind
Yeah.
community. about the importance of visibility
Mhm.
in the sales process and that sales cycle, which I feel like a lot of people might actually not connect that. They will connect visibility with social media and
Mhm.
maybe what that equates to in terms of insights and sales and in terms of that sort of social media hit, but not so much into the entire process that you take your
Mhm.
customers along with. So,
Yeah.
can you actually chat a little bit about that? Because I thought that was so impactful what you shared.
Yeah, I think it's so important. I think that a lot of people come into business and, let's just use sales for an example. And they think that sales is the end when there's an exchange of a transaction, when an invoice is paid, when a credit card is given. But there's actually an entire ecosystem that goes around that. And the number one thing, I literally have it behind me because I talk about this sales training all the time, is leads, visibility. And nothing else works in the sales process if you don't have people, I call it like in your pond, if you don't have fish in your pond, right? So for right now, it's like if you're not selling, most people are like, oh, it's my offer, it's my webinar, it's my funnel, it's my email, it's my messaging. 9 times out of 10, I find that they just don't have the right people either consuming the content or they've already gone through your program. So it's like visibility is so key. And I always say, like in the circle of sales, nothing else happens until you're visible. I have a post-it note in my office that I've had for 5 years that I've been an entrepreneur, and it says, where can I go today that nobody knows who I am? And this is
Mm.
what I have lived by, you guys. I don't pay for ad traffic. I don't pay for PR, anything. It's just like every day I wake up and I say, what can I do? I'll give you an example. Today I have Allie on the podcast, right? I'm going to go to my Instagram stories. I'm going to share out Allie. Allie's going to repurpose that. Now, everyone that follows Allie today on her stories is going to be like, oh, who's Jillian Murphy? It's so simple and it's so easy, but yet so many people aren't doing it.
Oh my gosh. And it's like looking at that low hanging fruit and not even reinventing the wheel of
Mhm.
in this day and age, like, okay, how can I stand out? What do I do? Do I have to be negative? Do I have to be loud? Do I have to be cringe? I mean,
Mhm.
cringe is working.
Yeah,
And
cringe is
I think
working. I'm
cringe
on
is
TikTok,
working.
and trust me, cringe is working.
Yes, and I think just like having this commitment to being like slightly unhinged when it
Yeah.
comes to showing up and being visible in what you're going to create, but exactly what you're saying is, and I know Chris and Lori are excellent at saying this, especially we hear it a lot in our MCM community of borrowing other people's audiences. So it's
Hmm.
exactly what Jillian's saying that
Yeah.
I'm going to take content of our time here together. Jillian's going to take content of our time here
Yeah.
together, and then we're both going to share each other's content. So if we each have 10,000 followers, for example, well,
Hmm.
then now you have 20,000 followers between the two of you. I'm sure there's
Yeah.
also a lot of overlap,
Yeah.
but still, you have this exchange of energy and audience.
Hmm.
And I said this yesterday on our MCM weekly call, how, and I am the first person to be guilty of this because I have been in this, like, just even this week, where I was like, God, my story views aren't as high and
Yeah.
my reel views aren't as high and like my podcast clips that I'm resharing on reels is
Hmm.
lower than normal. So I'm just like
Yep.
auditing my
For
views
sure.
and being hard on myself,
Yeah.
which I was like, as a mindset coach, I'm like, need to improve that. But at the same time, like 798 views,
Yeah.
what does that look like if you put 798 humans in a room?
100%. And I think so many people don't do that. And I also think another thing that I teach on a lot is you all have people right now in your audience that probably would buy from you, but you're not talking to them. You're
Mm.
worried about how can I get another follower? How can I go get another thing? I always joke around. I have like 8,900 followers. I'm like, until 8,900 people are in infinity, I don't care if I have another person follow me because I need to spend time with people that are already here, that have already made a decision to follow me, consume my content. And it's like, go talk to 100 people a day. Go comment on 100 people's stories. I know this sounds crazy to some of you. You guys, you can do this in less than an hour. And this is going to consistently fill your pipeline through of new people because most of you are talking to the same people on repeat all the time. And it's like, wah, wah, wah.
Oh my gosh, I mean I see that a lot because I do a lot of in-person events.
Yes,
And I
you're great
have
at in person.
Thank you. And
Hmm.
like I have raving fans and they'll come to like a lot of my events, but I am very aware that I was like, I can't sell to the same person all the time.
Yeah.
And Matt and I have a brick and mortar luxury gym.
Hmm.
So there's also a lot of overlap for our paying members at Benchmark Fitness and people that come to Ali Aruda events. And I
Hmm.
was like, I can't hit them to be like, hey, do you just want to spend like 10K with me this year
Yeah.
between like gym membership, personal training, events, a
Yeah.
program?
Yeah.
So you have to consistently expand your reach and your audience. But I love what you're saying, Jillian, about And I remember hearing you saying this on a sales training that, all right, you have 89 followers, that maybe that actually does not equate to 8,900
Mm-hmm.
clients or paying customers, but it is a pipeline for that connection opportunity.
Yeah.
And same thing when it comes to in person, that I love a good low ticket event. I love free
Mm-hmm.
events. I've done those for many years. And now
Yes.
I have like a low ticket event, like my girlfriend's walk events, which I know
Yeah.
you've come to some.
It's great. Love them.
$35 to come, and you are going to, the whole event is focused on community building and connection.
Mm-hmm.
And it is amazing to see what happens from there, largely for the people that buy the ticket and they come, not so much for
Mm-hmm.
me, because it's not a selling tactic for me.
Right.
It's just building an audience, building a community, and being so excited about the quote unquote product, which is
Mm-hmm.
connection.
Yeah, it is so good. And you've done so good with in-person events. I want to shift the conversation real quickly because we do have a lot of people that listen to this podcast that own med spas, gyms, restaurants, all the things. Have you seen a shift in sales either up or down recently in even like the brick and mortar space? And what are you doing differently?
You know, it's interesting. I have really been intentional with our brick and mortar when it comes to content, and we actually would never advertise. It was something that you and I spent last year
Mhm.
together in Chris and Lori's Elite Entrepreneur Mastermind. And when we had an exercise towards the end of the year about like effectively auditing your business and like what's your
Mhm.
LTV and CAC, Matt
Mhm.
and I really recognized like, oh my gosh, we spend no money on advertising, which
Yeah.
is great that we
Yeah.
have built a six-figure business,
Mhm.
especially for the years in which we've had it,
Yeah.
without
And
any of
you're I
that.
mean you're in a place where like it's not like it's like your gym's in Scottsdale or it's in Arizona.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or like I'm in Los Angeles, like
Yeah.
New York City, like I'm in a small city, like a
Yeah.
suburban city. And we have done this by walk by traffic or referrals. And
Mhm.
maybe a little bit on Instagram and my
Yeah.
Instagram, and that's great.
Mhm.
But it was such a good exercise for us to realize, all right, there's some cool opportunity here. And not that we don't want to attract 100 customers because
Mhm.
we are luxury boutique and people pay for that because we have a capped membership base.
Mhm.
But recognizing like, okay, like I actually just want to experiment with ads.
Mhm.
So I've been over just the last couple of weeks been experimenting with Google ads and
Mhm.
Meta ads. But
Yeah.
also, like that's one thing, but I've also been shifting our content style.
Mhm.
I'm seeing a ton of success on my personal brand Instagram as well as Benchmark
Mhm.
Fitness with carousels. But
Mhm.
what
I love
I'm
carousels.
so do I, and I think it's really
I love
feeding.
them.
It's interesting too. Like we're talking about the trust recession, but carousels
Mhm.
don't allow people to connect with you because it's just a picture,
Yeah.
which is so interesting. But at the same time, the messaging that I'm focusing on with Benchmark for our brick and mortar is taking the message of what we do really well and turning it into
Mhm.
both a positive and a negative perspective in terms of the
Okay.
messaging that they're going to consume. So,
Mhm.
two posts that I've recently done that have been super successful that I'm also using as ads is Benchmark Fitness is for you if, and then it'll
Mhm.
scroll like things that we offer. And then about a week later, I will post Benchmark Fitness is not for you if, and that's
Mhm.
totally okay.
Totally fine, guys.
And it's going to speak to the exact same message, but in the
Mhm.
inverse, where I'm like, if you want a busy, crowded gym, this is not for you.
Yeah.
If you want a
Yeah.
gym that's dirty, then
Mhm.
there's weights everywhere and you can't find your matching weights, also not for you.
Yeah.
Totally fine.
Which is so funny because you guys, I was a fitness competitor for a decade and I've always worked out at like bro gyms, right? Like the dirtier, the better, chalk, loud music, hoodies on. Like I'm never wearing like a matchy girly set to the gym. So I want you to think about this. Like this is why it's so powerful because while LA has an incredible gym, I know so much about it. It's actually not for me. But what happens is so many people speak to who it is for and not who it's not for. And that's what you want. You want to actually repel the people because the worst thing she could do would be to attract me in, me
Mhm.
not like it, me not get the experience that I want. And then it's like, oh, well, Benchmark isn't a great gym. It's like, no, we want people to know right up front who it's for and who it's not for. So ask yourself right now, even your own content, do you tell people like this mastermind is for you, it's not for you? This retreat's for you, it's not for you. This gym's for you, that's not for you. Because I think that is such a missing piece that so many people are nervous to do. I had a girl say to me one time, she was doing some copywriting for me, and she said, your sales page should be a horror movie for people you don't want to work with you. And I was like, that is pure gold.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, and
Yeah.
I think too in the med spa space, when it
Yeah.
comes to let's focus on the world of injectables.
Yeah.
That a couple of years ago, I would hear girls like, whether it's in the salon in energy or in our gym, people would want like, all right, how much do you pay per unit? How much do you pay per unit?
Yes.
And that's all they would focus on is like the cost per unit.
Yes.
I've been so fortunate and I'm so grateful for this incredible partnership that I have with a med spa. And I have seen a completely different way of how they run their business, which is
Yeah.
very aligned with how we do.
Yeah.
And it is about the approach and the outcome.
Yes.
And it is not a cost per unit. It is,
Never.
what does the client want?
Hmm.
Does that align with their process and their approach
Yeah.
to excellence and science
Hmm.
and how they're going to deliver that? And then ultimately attract those customers that are totally aligned with how they do that business.
Yeah.
But if there's someone that wants it for $6 a unit, not the
Yeah.
spot for you.
You guys also should not be price shopping your Botox. Like, can we just talk about that? Like, do not be.
It's in your
Yeah,
face.
it's literally in your face. I have never once asked my injector, like, how much is this going to cost? I'm like, don't make me look crazy and make sure my face looks good when I leave here. Like, you guys, we got to be asking better questions when we're putting shit in our face.
Totally.
Like,
It's so true. And I mean, I think also leading by example
yeah,
that I love when we have new customers or new members that come to Benchmark and I mean, who doesn't love a compliment with how they look? But it's
for
more so for
sure.
me, it's very affirming that I am doing the work
Yes.
consistently as a gym owner
Yes.
to look a certain way and to also show people that like I use our gym, I hire our trainers because
Mhm.
I want to look a certain way, yes, but I also want the longevity of being strong and fit and healthy. So I'm
Yeah.
going to do all the things.
It is so good. You guys make sure you guys are role modeling out whatever it is that you're doing, right? Like we know like Allie's gonna show us her workouts every day because she's a gym owner. I'm gonna show you guys what I'm selling every day because I'm in sales. It's like make sure you're walking the walk because that's one of the best things you guys can do right now in a trust recession. Allie, where can people find you right now? How can they connect with you? Tell us what you have going on.
Best place would be on Instagram at Ali Aruda, and I'm sure it'll be linked in the show
Of
notes, as
course.
well as I have a website which will have a blog and some fun things. But Instagram is the best place to find me. And then my show, Inspire and Move with Ali Aruda, would love to see you there. And I mean, Jillian's friends are my friends, and my
Mhm.
friends are Jillian's friends. So I'm just so excited for all the work that we get to do together and all the collaboration that is in our future.
Yeah, me too, you guys. You guys know I don't bring anybody on the show that I don't like massively edify. I'm not like, go follow them, go connect with them. Allie is such a girl's girl. She is such a hype girl. Get her in your world. Get her at your event speaking. Get her on your podcast. Allie, thank you so much for being here today, my friend.
Thank you.
Of course.
Thank you so much for listening. If you loved this episode, it would mean so much to me if you took a few seconds and shared this on social media, sent it to a friend, or left a 5-star review. There is power in community, and I'm so grateful to have you part of mine.